Good day, everyone. This is Patrick from UsdJpy Code Trading System, and it's Saturday, the 11th of December, 2021, and it's the weekly technical analysis for spot gold and dollar yen for the third week of December. And let's begin with spot gold, where it has been trading in a very, very narrow range, especially for spot gold. And because last week there was basically a lack of news and probably waiting to prepare itself for this week with some major news from the Federal Reserve meeting this Wednesday, and their decisions and statements coming out from there. But yeah, you can see that it's been trading in this very, very tight rectangle for the week. Just mark this here. And for spot gold, that's very, very narrow, only 220 pips, 230 pips range. And sitting above, managed to stay above this swing lows here. So this still forms a support zone with a major support below that at the 1750 and the 78.6 fib retracement area. That will be the next major support zone. Could not test the resistance above that as well, could not get close even to the 55 EMA. And the highest was just a high of 1793 and climbed back up to the weekly pivot for last week at the 1784.69. The monthly pivot is at 1803.39. So this zone here with the 1800, that's the major support, major resistance zone. Maybe it does a breakout from this tight range. So if it breaks down, there's support down here at the swing low at the 1760 area, and then below that the 1750 to 55 area, and above that it breaks out higher. It's got to break through the 200 EMA at 1795 and then target the 1800 to 1803. So next week will be the key one for all the major US news. And apart from the Federal Reserve meeting, there's also a number of US economic news with PPI, retail sales, and the PMIs as well. All right, so if we switch to the weekly time frame, and won't be surprised that yep, it closed as a very small range doji and right to the weekly pivot. So inside the previous week's wide range spinning top, and it was sitting, couldn't break above the weekly 55 EMA. Okay. And on the 4-hour time frame, let's take a look at the 4-hour. You can see it's just basically just trading range, swinging down and then back up, and then down until Friday's US CPI data, which even though it was better than expected, but it's already priced in with this lower move and then bounce back up to the weekly pivot. So let's also take a look at the US dollar index, where it was also trading in a narrow range for last week, and in fact even this narrow range here. Let's move it to, okay, and still inside a triangle for the last few weeks, and centered around the close below the 162 fib now for the week, and but still above the key support at the 138 fib extension. If it does break out higher for next week, depending on the news, then it will have to break through this swing high and target the 200 fib extension. If not, if it does weaken, then it's likely going to test the 138 fib extension, and if it does swing down lower, then there is this swing low here, which aligns with the 55 EMA. So that's another possibility if it does weaken, depending on the news coming up from the FOMC meeting. Okay. Let's move back to spot gold. So it's not surprising that last week was fairly quiet in the market, and only US CPI news, and it took advantage to move. Let's move on to dollar yen, and the dollar yen did manage to find support early after finding support the previous week at this swing low. Managed to climb up from the start of the week and attempted to test the 114 resistance zone. Tried to get close, but then closed back down towards the end of the week, and basically stayed in between the monthly and weekly pivots. The monthly pivot is at 113.73. Weekly pivot for last week is at 113.10. So we'll see this week whether it's able to break out higher above the 114 or break down lower. There is support at the 50 fib retracement, and below that, there's the major support at the 112. Right. In addition, there's also the Bank of Japan decisions on Friday, but I think that's mostly a non-factor for the last couple of years, with no major policy changes. So it's also exposed to the Federal Reserve decisions on Wednesday. And it is, as you can see from the towards the end of November, there was this major drop, which can happen for the dollar yen pairs, and in fact all the yen pairs. So dollar yen is definitely sensitive to US dollar, and it will be exposed to next week's news as well. not sure it's able to climb up above this resistance level, but we'll see. That will be another key resistance zone if it does push up higher above 114. All right. So do check out my other videos on the other major pairs, and do stay safe and have a good trading week in this coming volatile week of central bank news. Have a safe week and a good trading week, and cheers for now.